Hey, what's up, you guys? wwefan0599 here again, and welcome back to the universe of the Blue Tubers. And today I'm finally bringing the segment that I've been telling you guys about for since June, but I'm finally bringing it, and this is Late Night with wwefan0599. Now, what this segment is I bring on, YouTubers, and we discuss, movies, TV, games, comics, whatever they want to talk about, even politics. Well, not really. But today, my first guest is a YouTuber I've been watching for a while now, ever since I started watching reviewers and stuff. He's been a guy that I've always enjoyed watching. His birthday videos are a bit weird, but still. Here he is. Let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is GorTheMovieGod. I have a YouTube. It's GorTheMovieGod. I've been doing movie reviews, game reviews, let's plays, video game let's plays, trailer reactions, a whole bunch of stuff for years now. I've been on YouTube since 2008, and I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So what we're going to start off with is what got you your passion for movies and games, and why did you start YouTube?
Okay, my passion for movies and games. Okay, well, since I was young, I've always watched movies. It's just a thing, like my mom showed me stuff that I love, like old Disney cartoons is what I really started to get into it because I was young. And after that, I started moving up progressively into like live action, but more kid friendly stuff. And then of course, like the PG-13 stuff or PG like Jaws and stuff like that. And then of course, when the first time I ever saw stuff like Godfather and Goodfellas, I was like maybe 12. And those movies like changed the way I looked at movies. And I kept progressing with that stuff. I just kept watching more and more, violent, dramatic, more adult movies, stuff like that. And I love movies, and pretty much the same thing for games. I played kid games. The first one I ever played, I remember, was a Power Rangers game because I was a big fan of Power Rangers. And then I moved on to Super Mario, and then over and over until I progressed to stuff like, I don't know, more recent stuff like Metal Gear Solid and stuff. Well, that's not recent, but the most recent Metal Gear Solid game. But that's what I've done with the movies and games. And what was the second question?
What made you want to start YouTube?
I wanted to start YouTube because I actually, before YouTube, I was on MySpace, back when MySpace was alive. I did blog style reviews with a friend of mine. And when I did that, I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to do more videos like that, but I didn't have a camera, and my friend didn't live around here anymore. He moved, so I had to do it myself, obviously. So when I finally got a camera, I was like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna do video game reviews. I'm gonna do movie reviews. I have all these movies I want to talk about, and then I just started doing that. What started me with maybe the blog style reviews is watching or reading other people's reviews, and maybe even listening to some other reviewers. Like one of my biggest inspirations was spill.com, which sadly doesn't exist anymore, but well, they do now. They have a different website. But I'm big on I love sharing my opinion and being goofy. As you said before with my birthday videos. Those ones aren't supposed to be understood. Just watch them and just.
You're supposed to be like trippy, like watching those videos.
Yeah, it's my gift to people for my birthday. But so that's why.
So since we're in the month of October, horror films, of course, are the big thing in October. So what are some of your favorite horror films? Me personally, I love my favorite horror film of all time, if you even count it as a horror film, Jaws.
That's good.
Is my personal favorite horror film of all time. So what are some of your favorites?
Well, Jaws is definitely in my top 5. I would count that as a horror film. Yeah. Maybe more like adventure horror film, because it feels like a very isolated adventure on a boat trying to find a shark. But my personal favorite horror movie of all time is the 1982 version of The Thing from John Carpenter. I love that movie so much. I watch that once every year. Maybe sometimes more if it's on TV, but I always make sure I watch it once right before Halloween because I love that movie. And it's easily my favorite Halloween movie ever, horror movie ever. But Halloween movie, just to watch it for Halloween, because it's just a grotesque and scary and very, very fun movie. I'd say, I know not many people use that word, but I think it's a fun movie to watch. I'm like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? I want to know. And I don't know, it's a great film. I love it.
What's weird is I watched that a few nights ago for the first time ever.
Yeah.
I loved it. It was great,
Yeah,
honestly.
the practical effects are amazing in that movie. I still don't know how they did most of that stuff, but like the whole, like the head coming out of the chest and stuff after the what do they call it, when they rub it and try to
something
yeah, the chest opens up and it's like a big mouth. Like I don't know how they did half of that stuff, but yeah, it's one of those movies I just absolutely love. It's in my top 5 favorite films of all time. But yeah, The Thing, definitely.
Yeah, like I said, watched it for the first time the other night because I'm doing horror film reviews right now for my channel, and I loved it. It was such a great movie, and what John Carpenter did with that film is fantastic. And like you said, with the practical effects, it's some of the best use of practical effects I've ever seen on film. Like, one of my friends said, it's perfect blend horror with practical effects. It's amazing what they can do with that. And something that I watched again, like last night, The Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead, they used, makeup and stuff, and they made it look creepy. And unlike now, like movies like the remake of The Haunting, where they just use a bunch of practical, not practical, special
CG.
effects.
Yeah.
To try and make you scared, and it's just terrible. But
it's
something
terrible.
like, it's the worst horror film I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, The Haunting is one of the worst. Yeah, the remake, the original is really good, but they don't use they don't even use practical effects. It's just people being creepy, really, and dark hallways and stuff like that. So that's the thing that's so annoying about the remake. But yeah, I agree.
Just a bunch of just special effects thrown on screen, and like movies like The Thing, where it's just a bunch of practical effects and it works.
Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah. And Evil Dead, I definitely agree. That's one of the grossest films I've seen, where it's just like when people like die, they just like glops of stuff fall off of them. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore. It's just gross. But hey, it's all practical, so that's good with me. But yeah, there you go. That's my favorite horror film.
Yes. So still in the realm of like Halloween and stuff, the original Halloween, another movie made by John Carpenter, which is another great horror film, came out in like, I think it was like the late 70s, I think, right? Late 70s.
It might have been 78, maybe 79.
79. Wow. If it was 79, a lot of films came out in 1979.
Yeah.
But yeah, Halloween's a great horror film. Nightmare on Elm Street, of course, fantastic movie. Scream, great as well. Second, it's my personal second favorite, like, spoof type horror film, because if you think about it, it's like a spoof. My first is, it's very recent, but The Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods, yes.
It's another great like spoof type horror film. Not really like spoofing it. It's like inside jokes that you'll get, and it's just great.
Yeah, if for people listening, if you've never heard of Cabin in the Woods, don't look it up. Just watch it, because it's great to know nothing about it before going in.
It's one of those films where it's like, just don't look at anything about this movie. Just find it and watch it. Don't even read the description that's on the back of the box. Just watch it.
Just watch it. Don't even look at the poster. Just watch it.
Just watch it. Yeah. Exactly. So Cabin in the Woods is my personal favorite horror film of the decade. I don't think there's really been a horror film to me that has stood that horror film,
There's one I just watched that is kind of like that. It's kind of it's not really a spoof. It's more of a comedy, but it starts off like the first half is like horror, but with a little bit of comedy, and then the last half is straight up comedy with a little bit of horror. And that movie it's called Housebound. It's on Netflix right now. It's really good. It's from New Zealand. It's really good. I highly recommend it. But that's one of my favorites recently. But yeah, no, Cabin in the Woods is like, I can't think of anything wrong with that movie. I love everything about it. Maybe the marketing. That's about it, because it's spoiled quite a bit. But besides that,
just like we said, don't watch any trailers. If you've never seen the film, don't watch any trailers. Don't see anything about this movie. Just watch it.
Yeah, just watch it.
But yeah, Halloween's a great time to watch horror films and stuff. Now, and just the realm of movies in general, what have been some of your favorite movies of the year so far?
This year, oh man. Well, Mad Max is still my favorite. I mean, I know that's the go-to answer for many people that've seen it at least. Mad Max Fury Road is my favorite.
My favorite too. So
yeah, exactly. But hey, it's the best one. I can't just say it's not because everybody else is saying it is.
exactly.
It is. My second favorite though, that's hard. Like I just saw The Martian and that was really good, and that's in my top 5 somewhere. But I have to watch it one more time because I went to a really crappy theater and it was really uncomfortable. But I guess my the other favorites, like I saw Sicario and I thought that was amazing. I really loved It Follows, which is a horror movie. Perfect time for that.
Yeah.
And that's really creepy, but I think it's a little overrated. It's still a really great film.
Same here. I mean, I enjoy it. It's a really good movie, but it's nothing like special to me.
Yeah, it's not. It's a good premise, and I understand what it's supposed to be. Really, is about like teenage sexuality and all that stuff. I know what it's supposed to be about, but I was going into it like, oh, I want to see some creepy stuff, and there's a lot of the girl sitting around doing nothing. She's sitting on a car. She's sleeping on a car. She's in a cabin with her friends. Oh, creepy guy walks in. Now they have to leave and go to a different place. Like, it's a lot of that, but it's still a great film. Like, it has a lot of really good moments. But yeah. So there's a lot of really good movies this year. So many that I'm forgetting. Oh, Kingsman is one of my favorite movies too. Kingsman: The Secret Service.
Awesome.
I think I've seen that more times than any other movie because it was just one of those movies that came out perfect, like the perfect time where there wasn't that many fun movies out. Like I think it came out the same time as like Jupiter Ascending, and that was boring. So it was just like that came out. There was nothing else that was really fun or really, really enjoyable to watch. So I was just like, I watched that like maybe 4 times in the theater. I really enjoyed that movie. But I've seen it maybe 6 now. So yeah, I love that film. That's in my top 5 this year. But yeah, there's some great ones.
Yeah, like you said, Fury Road. Fury Road is honestly one of the best action films I think I've ever seen. Fury Road was just mind-blowing. And what we were talking about, practical effects earlier with horror films, they use practical effects perfectly in this film. You know, when you see people swinging on those things, those are actual people swinging across, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
and
it is.
I love that about this movie, and it was just so well filmed. Finally an action film that is not quick cuts or shaky cam like Taken 3, and it's finally something we can actually see. And all the car crashes are real. It was, I think, only for the special effects they used it for Charlize Theron's arm and the sandstorm. I believe those were the only special effects in the film. But
I think I heard they might have enhanced some of the explosions to make them look a little bit better because some of them might have not looked as big as they wanted them to.
Oh, okay.
They were real explosions, but then they added maybe a little bit extra just to make it look a little bit better. But for the most part, everything in that movie is supposed to be
fantastic. Inside Out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Inside Out.
Great Pixar movie. Definitely their best. Maybe since Toy Story 3. Well, I love Monsters University, but I think personally it is their best since Toy Story 3.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I loved Monsters University, and I loved Brave, but I didn't care for Cars, and I don't like Cars. But yeah, so yeah, it was definitely the best since that. It was really good, and not many movies like that get emotional, get me emotional like Pixar does. So yeah, that's a great film. I completely forgot about that one.
I know a movie that not a lot of people are saying it's great, but I loved it. I don't care what anybody's been saying. Avengers: Age of Ultron. I love the film personally. I really did. I thought it was awesome. I don't know about you. I think you really enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I saw it 3 times in the theater. I saw it with parents, then friends, and then by myself because sometimes I just like to have not people going "Hey, look how cool that was." I just want to watch a movie. But yeah, that was a really fun movie. I really enjoyed it. There's some things that annoyed me. I wish they would just have a serious villain. Just one serious villain. Like Mandarin, I thought that was going to be it. All right, serious villain. He's a terrorist. No, he's a drunken idiot that poops and farts and just pisses himself. He's probably the silliest one, actually. But I just want one that doesn't crack jokes. And I thought Ultron would be him, but luckily Ultron was really likable. So
Yeah,
least that.
Ultron, sure, he cracked a few jokes here and there, but what do you expect from someone that was created by Tony Stark? Just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that film personally. So yeah, those are just some of my favorites. Kingsman, like you said. Straight Outta Compton was great as well.
Oh, yeah, that was great too.
So yeah, those are just some of my personal favorites. Just movies this year haven't been really too great. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
There's been like Mad Max is amazing. Like for every like 3 mediocre ones, it seems like we get a great one. Every like so often we get a horrible one as well, like a really bad one. Like early this year, like usually this is the case for January, and it was definitely the case this year because we had like 3 of the worst movies I've seen in the last little while. Mordecai, Taken 3, and The Loft. All those are like
especially The Loft. The Loft is
abysmal.
Dude, The Loft is my second worst film of the year.
What's your first?
The Human Centipede.
Human Centipede 3. I saw it.
I know. I saw your whole commentary of it.
Yeah.
It was just it's so bad. It's now it's tied for my worst movie of all time. It's that bad. It's that bad.
What's your worst movie of all time?
I don't even want to mention the name. That's how much I despise it. I'm just gonna say it's a superhero film. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
But
maybe I know what it is, but I won't say it.
But Human Centipede 3, was just bad, but it was terrible. Yeah, The Lost, my second worst film of the year. Was abysmal.
Nobody likable. It was a crime thriller. Well, not crime. I guess it is a crime thriller.
It's a mystery film.
Yeah, mystery. There you go. And it's so just like I don't like anybody in this film. Even the guy you're supposed to like, I hate too. Like, how am I supposed to like him when he's cheating on his wife?
You like nobody in this movie. Even I tried to like Carl Urban because I like Carl Urban, but I couldn't even like him because his character was so despicable.
Yeah, there's one character you're supposed to feel like you like, but he's like he's an abuser. Like he beats women and stuff. It was like the other guy, the guy that just shows up out of nowhere. Like midway through the film, you're like, oh, he's another one of the friends. Who was actually in the original Loft, which I never saw. But you're supposed to like these characters and you hate all of them. Like the movie feels like you're supposed to like at least James Marsden's character. I don't like him either. Yeah, that movie sucked.
Exactly.
That was awful. Yeah, Taken 3 was awful too, but that was all.
Oh, Taken 3 is like such a bad action film, and it's like the one of the worst edited films I think I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, you never know where Liam Neeson is. Like there's times where he's just like he's fighting someone or he's falling out off like into an elevator shaft, and then the next scene he's outside walking around. Like there's a part where he's in the car, he falls down an elevator shaft, and then the car in the building explodes, but the next scene he's outside talking to Forrest Whitaker. I'm like, I don't know where I am. I don't know
where's the logic.
Yeah, they don't even explain how he got out. He's just like, I'm badass. Like, I don't know who you are. I mean, I don't know where you are. I don't know how you got out of there.
Listen, Liam Neeson's my favorite actor of all time, and I love to think that he can survive a nuclear explosion, but there are limits, people.
Yeah, exactly.
There are just limits. But
in real life, he could probably survive an explosion in a building,
exactly.
But in the movie, I need to know why he did.
Exactly. But I enjoyed this other film that came out this year, Run All Night. That was good.
That was great. I really like that, actually. Yeah. I made up for Taken.
Exactly.
That should have been called Taken 3.
Yes. But
like Taken 3 has nothing to do with anybody being taken. So Run All Night could easily be like years later when his daughter turned into a man for some reason, and he's just like he's a bodyguard for someone. I don't care. At this point, I don't care. You can make the daughter into a man. I don't care. I couldn't care less. Run All Night to me is Taken 3.
Yeah, and then Taken 3, it's like Taken 3 is like The Hangover Part 3 in a way. I'm gonna tell you why, because no one gets taken in Taken 3, and no one gets hungover in The Hangover Part 3.
Exactly. There's no scene where they wake up in Hangover 3 where we have to figure out what happened to Doug or whatever. Even though they actually have to find Doug again. But yeah, I see what you mean. Definitely.
exactly. And they're even gonna make a prequel Taken series, like for NBC. Like, why? Just why do we do that?
Exactly.
And
Great.
speaking of TV, let's wedge right into TV. If you watched,
Okay.
do you watch any TV shows
I
personally?
watch Game of Thrones. I watch Walking Dead. I watched the first season of True Detective. I haven't watched the second one. So yeah, I watch select TV. Definitely.
Yeah. I watch a lot of TV, honestly. Currently my two favorite shows on the air right now are Arrow and The Flash.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen those, definitely check them out.
Yeah, I heard they're good.
Especially Arrow. Arrow's phenomenal in every shape of way. Especially season 2. Season 2 is better than most comic book films. I'm gonna say that. I'm being completely honest. It really is. Like, if that was a movie, season 2, that'd be my top 10 best comic book movies of all time.
Nice. All right. Yeah, maybe I should watch it then.
Yes.
I have, that's the thing. I have Arrow season 1 on DVD because it was like on sale for Black Friday. I was like, I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, you saw that? Yeah, I have it, and it just I don't know what to. I guess I should watch it. So I might. I definitely will actually.
The Flash season 1 was one of the best things I've ever seen on television. I'm being completely honest. It was great. Kept you guessing throughout the entire season, and that's why I think a TV show should do, and that did it perfectly.
Yeah, actually, I watched Daredevil, which is similar. I mean, it's not the same.
Daredevil. Yeah, Daredevil's fantastic.
Yeah, which I know is Marvel, so it's not the same. But yeah, no, like Daredevil was great. So if it's anything like Daredevil, I definitely watch it. And
I'll say this.
Yeah, like
Arrow, it's dark, but it's not like Daredevil. But the Flash is very lighthearted. I'll say that.
Yeah, I've seen like commercials of Flash, and I've noticed that like the trailer I watched, it seemed very much like not like this, but kind of how the Supergirl TV show is kind of doing, where it's like very like lighthearted in a way, and more like back to the old style of some of these superhero TV shows back in like the 60s and stuff, where it's just like it's fun and I'm gonna fly around and beat up bad guys and stuff like that. Except Flash, he just walks fast. But yeah, no, that's interesting. I want to see Arrow because I like dark superhero stories like that. That's what I loved about the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
Exactly. And Arrow's dark, but I won't say it's like it is dark. It has its very dark moments. I mean, in the entire season 1, he's killing people. So, like, it is dark, but it's not like with Daredevil, like, where it's also brutally violent in Daredevil. I was surprised of how violent it was. Like,
no one gets decapitated with a car door in Arrow.
No.
That's my favorite part. Daredevil.
Oh yeah, that was just once I saw that, I was like, oh my goodness, this is by far the darkest thing the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done. So
when I was watching that, I was like, okay, the first couple of hits with the car door, I'm like, okay, they're gonna cut away and he's gonna drive off or something and leave his dead body there. But no, he just kept going until you just see glops of head just fall down to the ground, and then his headless body falls down. I'm like, oh. And then the next episode, they just show his headless body on like a slab. I'm like, Jesus, I never expected that.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Daredevil was a great series. I'm looking forward to the next series that they're doing. It's called Jessica Jones. If you saw those little teasers that they did for it.
Yeah, the one when she crushes the alarm clock. I saw that one. Yeah.
I mean, it looks. I mean, it's not something I can judge because it just wasn't that much. But I have faith in it because of Daredevil and how that was. So I have faith in this show and seeing how it does.
Now, is that supposed to be in the same universe as Daredevil? Like, are they gonna intertwine? Maybe.
I don't know if they're gonna intertwine with each other, but it is supposed to exist in the same universe as Daredevil.
I know Daredevil actually exists in the Avengers universe because they reference it in Daredevil. Which like they mention he doesn't wear like a suit of armor or whatever, they reference that. They do that a lot in movies.
TV universe is existing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so
which I can't. I don't know. It's just like if you look at like Winter Soldier, I can kind of see, because it wasn't dark, but it was definitely not as like, like colorful and vibrant and fun like Age of Ultron was. But I don't know how I could see like Daredevil, that show, existing in the same universe. It just doesn't seem. It seems weird to me.
Yeah, and they're gonna bring the Punisher in for a season.
Oh yeah,
That
Punisher is my favorite comic book character of all time.
Oh, he's my second. That's weird. He's my second favorite, and he's my favorite anti-hero of all time. So
yeah, so I guess he's my favorite anti-hero.
I mean, Punisher is just an awesome character. I love broken characters. Those are my favorite characters to like watch and read, and everything. It's just.
Yeah, that's why I was real mad. Like, there's been 3 Punisher movies, and not one of them. Like, I would say the latest one got the Punisher right, but then they got everything else wrong. The latest one, what was it called? Warzone or whatever.
Well, I love the Thomas Jane one. I
really like that one too, but I don't think they got the Punisher completely right in that one.
I thought they at least got him like half right. Like they didn't know his violent side, but his character side, I thought they got great.
Yeah,
Same thing. And I thought I'm sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, I thought Ray Stevenson, who played him in the latest one, which did terrible. Like, no one saw it, but and no one liked it.
It's the lowest grossing Marvel film of all time.
Yeah, and it's not a good movie. It's very cartoony, but I thought he did the best of the 3, in my opinion, especially better than Dolph Lundgren. But Dolph Lundgren, I don't even think he read the comic. I don't even think he knew.
Even though Dolph Lundgren was playing the Punisher, I think he was just playing a generic character, and they just called him the Punisher.
I have a feeling they weren't even making the Punisher movie when he showed up on set, but he showed up with maybe a skull on his shirt, and he was like, "We should make a Punisher movie."
Exactly.
Like, they're gonna call it, like, I don't know, Revenge Kill or something before then, and they're like, all right, fine, let's call it just Punisher. Who cares? Because I watch that, it has almost nothing to do with Punisher. I mean, it does, because his wife or whatever gets killed and stuff, and his wife and child gets killed. But besides that, it doesn't feel like Punisher at all. But I haven't seen it in years.
Well, Warzone, I will say this: I applaud them for getting the violent side of the Punisher, like. That movie could have been NC-17 because of how violent it was.
It was very violent. Someone gets there impaled with a chair leg or something like that. I remember that, just like straight up in the face.
Exactly. The whole beginning dinner scene is just brutal in the beginning, where that everybody's heads are getting cut off, necks are being snapped, chair legs are being put through people's eyes. It was brutal and awesome. But the movie's not good. It really isn't. I will say it's not one of the worst comic book movies I've ever seen personally, but it's not good. It's one of my personal guilty pleasures in a way.
Yeah, I would say that too. Like, that is probably my guilty pleasure of Marvel or just superhero movies in general. I can't really think of any other ones though. Maybe Spirit of Vengeance, Ghost Rider, because I know everybody hates that, but I just like Nicolas Cage going insane.
Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage is like a thing you wonder about every single day, because he's just so, like, what goes through his head.
Yeah. Well, I wonder if he's still like a human, like, because I think he was abducted by something, and just transformed him into what we know him today. Because I mean, he's always been crazy, but now he's just like, every role he does Nicolas Cage to like the ultra. Like,
you've ever seen The Bad Lieutenant?
Yes, I love that movie.
Nicolas Cage just loses his mind in that movie.
Yeah. He starts. He imagines. He like sees people like doing like
breakdancing.
Yeah, breakdancing, just in the middle of like a what was it, like a drug meetup or something like that. I haven't seen that in a long time, but I remember that scene. I was like, and he's just like staring, like like,
wait, shoot that guy, and they're like, what for? He's still breakdancing.
Yeah, I love Nicolas Cage, and that movie was amazing. I mean, he was supposed to be like on multiple types of drugs, but if you've seen the original movie with was it Rutger Hauer? Was that Rutger Hauer, or was it Harvey Keitel? It was Harvey Keitel. That was
a remake. There's
an original one with Harvey Keitel, and he's crazy, but he's not Nicolas Cage. He's just like kind of a normal guy on drugs. He's angry, but he's not Nicolas Cage.
He's not Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage, it feels like aliens abducted him and just like, we're just gonna make him crazier than he was before.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
the Wicker Man is just a horrible movie.
oh
Like
yeah,
Wicker Man is just terrible. But
yeah,
there are some parts in there that are funny. Like when he randomly just punches a woman in the face in the bear suit.
yeah,
Come on, how
yeah,
can you not laugh at that?
yeah. I love every time, which is weird to say. I love every time he punches someone in that movie. It's weird to say because they're all women,
Weird to
but
say, but it's so funny.
yeah, it's pretty funny. He does it like 3 times in the movie. He does it just like randomly one time to some like one of the bigger women. He's just like, he looks at her for like a solid 3 seconds and just punches her. I'm like, all right,
What?
now we're getting into, sure, you didn't need to, but all right. Yeah, him in the bear suit for the last like 20 minutes of the movie. I'm like, all right, I guess this is where this is going. Yeah. But yeah, no, that movie's terrible, but it's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable bad movie,
It's
definitely.
like one of those movies where it's so bad that it's good. I don't really remember. I don't know if there's a movie that I've seen personally that where it's like so ungodly bad, but it's so hilarious. Actually, Howard the Duck. Howard the Duck for me is that movie where it's just so godly bad, but it's so hilarious.
Really? Yeah, no, that's a terrible film, but I could see that. Yeah, there's some moments in that
yeah,
movie.
if someone says it's a terrible movie, I understand completely.
Yeah.
It's just one of those movies where it's like it's a talking duck and it's supposed to be awful. So
yeah, when he falls in love with the human and they have a relationship, I'm like,
Leah Thompson, you were in Back to the Future. What are you doing in this movie?
Exactly.
Speaking of Back to the Future, it's I believe it turns 30 years old this year, and that is one of the best movies ever. I mean, if you don't love Back to the Future, there's something mentally wrong with you.
Exactly. I love Back to the Future. And there's a new documentary coming out, Back in Time, it's called.
Which should be I said which should be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah. That comes out. I think actually they're releasing that on the actual 30th anniversary, which I can't remember what day it is, but I think it's this month, isn't it? I think it's this month.
It's next month. But
next month? Okay, it's coming out next month then. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the documentary. I don't watch too many documentaries, but I do when it's something like that.
Like what earlier this year, Death of Superman Lives. What happened? I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, that was a documentary because it was about the Superman Lives movie that Tim Burton was supposed to direct. And speaking of Nicolas Cage was supposed to be Superman.
Yep, and Kevin Smith was supposed to write it. I wanted to watch that because I'm a huge fan of Kevin Smith personally, and I love every time he talks about that movie, just like the behind the scenes stuff. I wanted to see that, just because I'm really interested too. Like, what was it gonna be like? Like I've never seen it anywhere. I guess like I've never seen the movie anywhere. Like it's not on Netflix or anything. But I do really want to watch that movie. Definitely.
It's only on Blu-ray right now, but
yeah, it's on Blu-ray.
I'd say if you can ever find it somewhere, watch it. It's a great documentary about this movie. That.
Yeah.
Imagine if it happened. Sometimes you wonder about that, about canceled projects. Like, what would have happened? Or even casting choices. Like, originally, Tom Selleck was supposed to be Indiana Jones. Look what happened. And Harrison Ford, who I think was the better choice for Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford played Indiana Jones. So it makes you think sometimes. Like Leonardo DiCaprio was supposed to be Patrick Bateman in American Psycho.
That one I would like for him to play now, because back when American Psycho came out, that was closer to Titanic, and that was like a couple years from Gangs in New York and stuff. So he wasn't doing he was doing dramatic stuff, but he wasn't doing that kind of dramatic stuff where he has to play an insane person like that. I would like to see him play that now in American Psycho, if they ever remake it. If they ever remake American Psycho, which I don't think they should, because from what I've heard, that's a really hard book to even make to begin with, and I don't know how they did it originally. But yeah, it's a great film. But yeah, some movies that just get canceled, like I always wonder, like if Superman Lives came out, and I don't know if it would have been bad or good, but if it was bad, that was supposed to come out before Batman and Robin, right?
No, like a year or two after Batman and Robin. So,
okay. Because maybe is that the main reason why they canceled that? Because of Batman and Robin?
I think no, they couldn't get financial money or whatever. I think that's why they canceled it. And I'll just say this. one of the producers had this weird obsession with a giant spider. He like wanted a giant spider in Superman Lives. And
Kevin Smith talked about that.
He wanted it in Superman Lives, and like the money that was supposed to go to Superman Lives went to Wild Wild West, and it had a giant spider in that film.
Yeah, giant spider in it.
So
giant robot spider.
And it was god awful, but still.
Definitely. Yeah, it was terrible. But I actually highly recommend watching the Evening with Kevin Smith, which is just his like little kind of a documentary, but it's more like him just talking about things, just on a stage in front of people. There's a clip on YouTube you can watch of him talking about him working on Superman, and he mentions the whole spider thing. It's actually really funny. He's a really funny guy, so I recommend watching that, especially if you're really interested on the Superman Lives. Just watch him talk about it for pretty much the first time ever since it was like canceled, because that was like back in 2001, I think he did that. So yeah, I do want to watch that though. I'm interested in a lot of documentaries recently. Like there's one called Finders Keepers about a guy's like limb that got severed off and into a barbecue, and then some rich guy bought the barbecue grill, and now the guy with the severed limb wants the barbecue back because it has his limb in it. There's just like weird movies out there that I really want to watch. Yeah. So, yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Some huge stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe a documentary that I would like to watch would be. Hold on 1 second.
That's fine. But yeah, no, there's a lot of documentaries out there that are really fun.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. Like recently with The Walk coming out, a lot of people been saying, well, Man on Wire, I think it's called, right?
Man on Wire, yeah.
That should be an interesting documentary. I might check it out.
Yeah, Man on Wire is actually a very good retelling of what The Walk is. I don't know if you've seen The Walk yet, but
not yet. Have you?
It pretty much does. Yeah, I have. I saw it in IMAX 3D. It was amazing. But I really liked it. It's a very, very like fantasy style story, even though it's based on a true story, but it has a fantasy feeling to it, like old Hollywood style. Like it even starts off in black and white because the movie's like starts off in like I think the 60s or something like that, or the early 70s. So
that's cool.
not like there's many movies in the 70s that were in black and white, but they started it there for some reason. I don't know. I really liked it. It was really fun. But
it was really good.
Yeah, and the last 25 minutes are incredible, especially in IMAX. If you could shell out the IMAX ticket for it, it's amazing.
Yeah. Now to go back to maybe let's talk about some games really quick if you want to talk about games. Is there any game in particular for the rest of the year that you're personally looking forward to?
Yeah, there's actually a couple, but the one I'm really looking forward to is Fallout 4.
Same here.
Fallout 4 looks amazing. I can't wait for that. I've been playing Fallout 3 just to prep for it, and yeah, I'm a huge fan of Fallout. Well, since Fallout 3, I never played the originals, and I know they're incredible and all that, but Fallout 3 in New Vegas I loved, and yeah, I can't wait for this one. It looks so good. It just looks like more Fallout 3. It looks a bit better. It's probably going to be bigger, but and it has more features, obviously. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into that. It's going to be amazing. Besides that, maybe Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, which I'm a huge Star Wars fan, obviously. And yeah,
we'll talk about more about Star Wars afterwards. But yeah, Star Wars Battlefront, that looks great. I can't wait for that because, like you said, I'm a big Star Wars. We're big Star Wars fans, so obviously, again, get that game. I'm a wrestling fan, so of course WWE 2K16. I'm personally looking. That's probably my most anticipated game of the rest of the year because I love wrestling so much. Yeah, I want to get that game. And I know you got. Did you ever play 2K15? Just wondering.
Yeah. Yes, I did. I played with friends actually on a different YouTube channel we do for like little Let's Plays, and it's a fun game. I really like it. It's a little weird. Like that one was it was good, but it was like they took stuff out from 2K14 that it's just like they took it out, and I was just like, okay, the game looks better. It looks great on next gen, but I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It took features out, and it was a little annoying, but we still had a good time.
That's my biggest problem with 2K15 is that they focused way too much on the graphics that they didn't focus on the actual game itself in a way.
Yeah. Also,
And
there's a ton of glitches in that game, which
oh,
is fine. Which is fine if
oh, it's
the game.
fun,
Yeah,
but
it's funny. But there's one we had where we were playing Royal Rumble and we knocked. I can't remember his name. I think it's Dolph Ziggler. I think his name is. I think that's who it is. And we threw him off the top of the rope, and he was out. We eliminated him, and then he came back into the ring. I'm like, what's going on? And then he left the ring, but he like morphed through the turnbuckle. And when he did that, the game froze. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It's like, and the game ended, and he just like closed out to the main menu. I'm like, oh, cool. And there was a lot of really funny glitches like that. But there's a lot of glitches in those games, but they're most of the time not game breaking, which is good. I just like
2K16 looks like they're actually focusing on the game, which looks great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's like a much, much better improvement. It was like 2K15 was just like a stepping stool for 2K16 in a way.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that game, honestly. And the Nathan Drake collection, I don't know if you're going to get that, but here's the thing, because I'm so desperately wanting to play Uncharted 4 that I want to play the other 3 before I play this 4th one, obviously, to catch up. And that's the perfect way to catch up for me. So, I personally can't wait to sit down and play those games. They look great. I hear they're great, especially 2.
Yeah, 2's amazing.
So,
if you love Raiders of the Lost Ark or any of the Indiana Jones films, that's just exactly that's pretty much the Indiana Jones of this time. And I know it's a game, but that's pretty much what it is, because we don't have that right now for Indiana Jones. That's great. I highly recommend it.
All right. If like Indiana Jones were a video game.
Yeah, if it was a video game, then that's exactly what it'd be. But yeah, Uncharted's great, and I hope when they make a movie out of that, they do it right.
They're making Uncharted movies. So, who would you like to see Nathan Drake personally if they when they make the movie? Who do you want to see personally play Nathan Drake?
Well, they were saying like Chris Pratt was like, there's a rumor he was going to play Indiana Jones, which I don't think he should play Indiana Jones. I think he should play Nathan Drake. I think he would be perfect for that. He might not look like him, but he would get the humor right, and he'd get all the other things like that right. Like if you play the game, I think you'll see it.
Yeah, honestly, even I still haven't gotten a chance to see it, but Jurassic World, I see like pictures of him, and his outfit looks kind of like Nathan Drake's outfit, and it kind of looks like him in some ways.
Yeah, yeah. Like the way his face looks and stuff, he doesn't look like Nathan Drake, but that doesn't matter. I just want someone good that knows how to play a sarcastic archaeologist. Well, he's not even an archaeologist. Archaeologist. He's just an adventurer. That's really it. I just want to see someone good at doing that. Play him.
That'd be cool. I think I would like to see Chris Pratt as well as Nathan Drake, or maybe, I know he's not gonna look like him at all, but personally, Stephen Amell, the guy who plays Green Arrow on Arrow, I think he could, in terms of his abilities and his athletic, I don't know how personally he would pull off the humor, but we would see. I personally would like to see him as well in terms of like him doing the athletic stuff and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, from the little bit I've seen from him, like I saw him in WWE. I wanted to watch the match that he was in with what's his name, Stardust. I don't watch wrestling anymore now. I used to all the time, but I just watched that. I just wanted to see. Like I was interested, and I was like, okay, he's pretty athletic for the most part. He's doing, he's going on the turnbuckle and he's jumping off. He's doing. I feel like
they didn't give him much to do in that match. I think they have given him a little bit, because if you see what his training is and stuff, it's insane what he does, and in Arrow as well. What he does, I think he does a lot of his own stunts in Arrow.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's that one time where he jumped off the turnbuckle. I was like, all right, cool. They got him to do at least that. Like, I'm sure they were afraid that they didn't want to hurt this guy. Actually hurt him. Like, hey, jump off the turnbuckle for the 8th time. Nothing bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, do a moonsault.
Breaks his leg. Do a moonsault and he lands on his head. Like, oh, good. Now it's our fault. Arrow season 5 is up to now.
Season 4.
Well, that's already filmed, so season 5 would be canceled.
Exactly. But Yeah, personally, those are really the games I'm looking forward to. Next year, we've got some games coming out next year. We got Doom 4, Uncharted
Yep.
4, like we
Oh
just
yeah.
mentioned. I don't know too much. Also, there's a South Park game coming out that year as well,
Yep. The
which,
fractured butthole.
which has the greatest title
Yeah.
of all
Yeah.
time.
It's great.
Yeah.
Uh, and the last one was really good. It was really funny, especially if you like South Park. That's straight up like the perfect South Park experience
Oh,
if you
dude,
want to play South Park.
I haven't played the game, but I've seen gameplays of it.
Yeah.
It is one of the most like it is everything when when they go in the butthole. It is like one of the most. It is so detailed that it is weird.
Yeah, it's that's the thing about Matt Stone and Trey Parker. They get detailed when they want to get detailed because South Park itself, they're just little like guys that move around like this. But then when they want to really gross you out, like when they're in a butthole, it's just detailed and I'm like, oh,
It's like ow.
exactly. But there's a lot of great moments in that, especially if you like South Park. But yeah, this one looks great. A game I'm really looking forward to is Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, which is a old series. Deus Ex has been around since like the early 90s, I think, like maybe 94, 95, maybe 96. I don't know, maybe late 90s, whatever. I didn't play until much later, but I loved the last one, and that one looks great. And you mentioned Doom. Doom is probably my favorite old school just arcadey shooter ever. And I don't mean just first person shooter, I mean just shooter of all time. Doom is my favorite one of those type of games ever, and I'm glad that Doom 4 is going back into like fast-paced shooting gameplay and stuff. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
looks great. And no, we are not talking about the Doom movie with The Rock. We are.
that's a guilty pleasure actually for me.
Oh, really?
Because,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, there's is that one cool scene where they do the first person shooter thing. That
that's
that
pretty
was
cool.
cool. That
Yeah,
was
that was really cool. But I don't know, Carl Urban and The Rock fist fighting at the end, and The Rock just like transforming into a demon face like halfway through. I don't know. It was so like this isn't Doom at all. They're fist fighting. They're like doing karate and stuff. I'm like, this isn't Doom. There's no part where Doom guy just like breaks out his black belt and just starts like karate chopping demons. Like there's never a moment. And I was just like, okay, screw it. It's not a Doom movie. I don't care. It's hilarious. It's a great. I think it's a great B movie. But yeah, Doom. It's not a good movie, but it's a guilty pleasure.
speaking of video game movies. Is there? I gotta ask you this: is there any faith for video game movies?
I'm there's a Warcraft movie coming out made by the guy that did
And an Assassin's Creed movie next year.
yeah,
So
yeah. But the Warcraft movie comes out I think May next year, and it's made by the guy that did Source Code and Moon, and those are two fantastic movies, like really amazing. I love Source Code. That was my favorite movie that year. And this movie I've seen there was a leaked trailer. It looks really good. And I don't know if you've ever played a World of Warcraft or a Warcraft game.
no.
I've never. So I don't. I've seen gameplay, so I know what these things look like the orcs and stuff.
I haven't even seen gameplays.
Yeah.
I'm just not really that interested in the game. So
Yeah, me neither, really. But I'm interested in the movie because it's a great director, and it looks like a great movie. I hope it's good. So that might be the first one. So there's faith. Assassin's Creed, like you said, they released that first picture, and it's only a picture of him in the costume, but they nailed the costume. It looks great.
yeah, it's Michael Foss, and they got a great cast. They got Michael Fassbender, Marion Cotillard. They just added Jeremy Irons, Ben Gleeson. So we might have ourselves maybe a good movie on our hands.
Maybe. And it's the guys that made the game are like really focused with the director and the studio making it to make sure it's like it'll be good. So and it's Michael Fassbender. I haven't seen a bad Michael Fassbender movie. Maybe mediocre ones.
Maybe Jonah Hex, but he wasn't really the star.
Oh yeah, he wasn't Jonah Hex. That was before he became like really big though. So he was kind of rising up. Yeah, he played like the Irish guy with the bowler cap. I remember him.
Yeah, like this weird beard tattoo type thing. Yeah, but yeah, I think there is maybe some faith. I mean, I don't hate. There are some bad video game movies, but something like Need for Speed, I really enjoyed.
I liked it too.
I personally had a fun time with that movie. Mortal Kombat is not the best movie, but it's like one of those just All right, fine. I'll just put it in and just,
Yeah.
except for Annihilation. Annihilation is just annihilation to video game movies.
Exactly. The first one is like the first Mortal Kombat is like they got everything right about Mortal Kombat except the most important part, which is the violence. And I get why they didn't do that. They wanted more money, like more people to see it. Because if it was rated R, most likely it would have bombed. But then that means we would have gotten Annihilation, which would have been good. But because that really did suck. But yeah, I thought Mortal Kombat the movie is probably the most faithful movie adaptation of a video game. Because Need for Speed, there's no story in Need for Speed, so it doesn't even matter really. Some of my other favorites, he's gone, so I'm just gonna keep talking. What's some other really good, well, not really good, but decent movie, I mean, video game to movie adaptations? Need for Speed, like you said, is good, but again, there's no story in Need for Speed, so you could do anything with that. But they did a good job. They made just a road trip movie, really, with some racing. And I like the first Hitman movie as a B movie, kind of like Doom.
What movie, sorry?
Hitman. The first one, I even like this. I even like the newest one.
I didn't watch it. I haven't seen it or the new one yet. Yeah,
the new one's hilarious actually. But it's not a good movie.
No, it's actually mine.
You give me that. I'll keep talking. So yeah, no, the first two Hitman movies are funny, really funny. Movies.
Oh, if
they
I
have a lot of
that's just like people talking or something. That's just
yeah.
fun. All right, but you were saying about Hitman.
Yeah, the first two Hitman movies have really funny moments. Like they're just B movies, straight up B movies. The second one just has moments where someone gets shot and then you find out they have like liquid metal skin, kind of like
Terminator. What?
Yeah, but he does like liquid shit. Like he doesn't move. Like he doesn't like get shot and then he just like explodes into metal liquid. He has like it injected into his skin, so he's just pretty much a big like. His skin's like body armor. There's like silly stuff like that. That just made me kind of enjoy those Hitman movies. The Hitman games are really silly, so I don't mind as long as they get the Hitman aspect right. You know, the silent assassin.
Splinter Cell, I have a lot of faith in too because of
Tom Hardy
behind it, and of course the guy who's starring in it, Tom Hardy, who's personally probably in terms of people that are like. I guess like newer faces, he'd be my favorite because just this dude keeps on cranking out great movie after great movie after great movie, and this guy is just a tremendous actor. Even if the movie's terrible, he's still gonna be great because he's Tom Hardy.
Yeah, he's gonna be great, definitely. Like even stuff like I heard Legend isn't supposed to be the best movie, but I've heard he's really good in it, so it's highly recommended just because of that. And The Revenant, I can't wait for The Revenant. That looks amazing.
Dude, The Revenant looks fantastic.
Yeah. That's gonna give Mad Max a run for its money, and guess what? That's Tom Hardy. So yeah,
exactly.
Tom Hardy might be in the two best movies of the year.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Speaking of movies for the rest of the year, of course, we have to talk about Gem and the Holograms. I'm only kidding. We gotta talk about Star Wars, The Force Awakens. But dude, like movies. I'm like, what movies? I'm like, this, I'm looking forward to it, but this could not be good. There's no way this movie can't be awesome. I'm just saying, there's just no way. From what we've been hearing and what we've been seeing, there's just no possible way.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job of like keeping it not too secret. Like they still giving little hints at what the story could be, but when we're talking about the trailers themselves, they are like very mysterious. You don't know really what's going on. You're like, okay. We're seeing things that are familiar, like we're on Tatooine, maybe, even though I've heard it's confirmed that it's not Tatooine. And we're on like little planets, and we're seeing things like the X-wings and lightsabers and stuff. We're seeing things that are familiar to us. So they're doing a good job of just showing us what we want to see, besides spoiling the story. Kind of that's what J.J. Abrams does very well, especially with Star Trek Into Darkness. They don't tell you exactly who Benedict Cumberbatch was. And he did a great job of hiding that. So he does a great job with just concealing information from us. So I have a feeling it's going to be a big twist in this movie. Darth Vader is actually Luke Skywalker. I'm spoiling it. I'm sorry, I'm confirming it right now. Luke Skywalker, he puts on the mask and he becomes
because
Darth
he went
Vader.
to like a special high ground like test screening for the movie.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
like,
I saw it yesterday. It was good. It was all right. I don't know, too much Jar Jar, but
Jar Jar Binks, you know.
Darth Vader takes off his helmet, he comes back, and it's Jar Jar. Now that would be a good twist if Jar Jar became Darth Vader.
That would be the most hilarious / bad twist of all time.
Yeah, but what's like Jar Jar's really badass. Like he's actually like really cool now.
What if he's like Neo? Like he's like Neo in the Matrix. He's just like this kung fu like.
Yeah, exactly. He's like a kung fu. Yeah, he's like this kung fu and stuff. What I found funny was that someone pointed that out. J.J. Abrams, Jar Jar Abrams.
Yeah, Jar Jar. You know what's
Jar
weird?
Jar Abrams.
Kevin Smith did make that joke. He was like, "If Star Wars is bad, I'm gonna start calling you Jar Jar Abrams."
Jar Jar Abrams.
And nobody liked Jar Jar.
Nobody liked Jar Jar. I didn't see that one. So yeah, no, I hope that movie's great. They've done a great job of marketing. They haven't told us anything that we don't need to know right now. Like they've showed us everything we need to know. You know, just everything that we've come to expect from Star Wars, except maybe space. They haven't showed us that yet, but whatever. Yeah,
whatever. Now, is there that one movie that you're just like I want to say like dreading to see because how bad it looks?
Yeah, Gem and the Holograms. But no, okay, not Gem and the Holograms. I don't care. I never watched Gem and the Holograms.
I mean, it doesn't look like the worst thing ever, but I'm not looking forward to it. Personally, me, it's Paranormal Activity in the Ghost Dimensions.
Okay, yeah.
Why are they still going with this franchise? It's dead.
I don't hate the Paranormal Activity movies. I don't like the fourth one. I gave a decent score, but after like thinking about it, I'm like, that wasn't very good. I just had a decent theater experience, I think. I had a fun time in the theater. But the fourth one's not very good. But I kind of like the marked ones. I thought it was all right, even though it was very generic. And the twist was silly in a way that was just like, okay, I can go with it, I guess. It's stupid, but I don't care. Yeah, I could see why you're fed up. I'm sure everybody's fed up. This is supposed to be the last one. And when they said Saw 7 was the last one, it was the last one. So hopefully this will be the last
one. They got an 8th movie in development. Did you hear about that?
No.
Well, they got an 8th movie in development. So, what is that one movie that you're just dreading how bad it looks?
Is there any other Kevin James movie come out this year?
No, actually, surprisingly not.
I don't think there's anything else that looks really awful that I'm dreading.
I mean, Alvin and the Chipmunks 4.
Oh. Yeah.
The Point Break remake.
The second trailer looked better than the first one. I'll give it that. But
I didn't like. Well, the first teaser trailer was terrible. It was awful. But then the second one, I was like, it's okay, but I'm still not looking forward to this.
Well, they already remade Point Break. It was called The Fast and the Furious.
I was just about to say that.
That's what Fast and Furious was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a Point Break remake, but then they just renamed it, I think, or something like that. I think they got Vin Diesel, and he was just like, we should rename it. Someone said we should rename it because it was originally going to be a Point Break remake, except with cars, obviously. And now now Vin Diesel's flying out of buildings into other buildings. So
exactly. It's like now Fast and Furious is one of the highest grossing franchises of all time. Who would have thought? Who would have thought this franchise would go up to 7 movies and 8 movies now? And be one of the highest grossing franchises of all time. I think
I never thought so. Like after the fourth one came out and it did really well, I was like, okay, but it's the best it's gonna get. It's gonna drop off after that. Like because the fourth one did like 150 million. I'm like, oh, that's a lot for this series. That's gonna be it. Then the second one made more. Then the second one. The fifth one made more. Then the sixth one. Then the seventh one made more than Avengers. I'm like, I would never have guessed Furious 7 would have made more than the Avengers Age of Ultron overall.
Just mind blowing.
Yeah. That's after like worldwide. Yeah.
Yeah, the Fast and the Furious franchise has been up and down with me. The first one I actually really enjoyed. The second one was The third one was god awful. The fourth one, what?
Yeah, I hate that one. I hate the third one. I hate the fourth one too.
I actually really enjoyed the fourth one.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I know a lot of people do, but I found that one really boring, and like Vin Diesel's character became really just unlikable.
Oh, okay.
Because he was just like Yeah, and then the fifth one, they brought it back, and I'm like, oh, okay, everybody's likable again.
Yeah, the
And then
fifth one
6 and
was
7.
awesome, and then the sixth one was actually awesome. So I haven't gotten a chance to see the seventh one, but I hear that's awesome too. So
yeah, that one's a lot of fun too. Yeah, no, I'm glad that that series has come back. Really, like, critically at least, and money wise, because I like the first one quite a bit. Like, I really enjoyed it. The second one's goofy, really goofy. But it's all right. The third one I really didn't like because I don't like any of the characters.
Yeah, your movie's bad when you have Bow Wow in the movie.
Yeah, Bow Wow. They brought him back in the seventh one too. For 3 seconds. He comes in and says, "Hey, someone's here to see you," to Lucas Black's character, and that's about it.
Oh.
So there you go. I spoiled that cameo.
But no, I already knew that Lucas Black was going to be in the film anyway, so it was like in the IMDb like cast listing, so it's not even a spoiler really. So, well,
I'm trying to think of what movie I'm dreading. Besides Alvin and the Chipmunks, I probably won't even see. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't care. I've never liked Alvin and the Chipmunks. Not even when they were supposedly good. I thought they were always annoying. But what movie am I dreading though? I really want to pinpoint. Oh, you know what? One movie I'm dreading, and it's probably gonna be good, but the trailers are just really annoying. Is that with Tina Fey and Amy Poehler? Two people I really like, but that trailer is really annoying.
Same here. I really like them as a duo, but man, those trailers have been bad.
Everybody says it's like the female version of Step Brothers, and that's the problem. Like I like Step Brothers, but they didn't present the trailer as like them just being extremely annoying to the point where they're just banging on the ground and making funny faces to the camera. Step Brothers was not a great film. I thought it was okay. It had some funny moments, but this movie looks really bad. It's gonna probably end up being good, but the trailer was bad.
Well, it's not going to perform well at the box office because it's making this stupid mistake in opening against Star Wars. So, like, why? Just can I understand this logic? Like, why are you going to open against Star Wars?
Exactly. Like, I know that that Moby Dick movie that was supposed to come out earlier this year is coming out like I think a week before Star Wars. And I mean, I get it. Like, Christmas is the perfect time to release a movie because throughout the entire like month, like I would say, like between the middle of December and the middle of January is where movies keep making money throughout each week because people are off and they want to see a movie, so they keep making money throughout the weekdays and the weekends. So I get that, but I don't get why everybody's like trying to get on that Star Wars that Star Wars boat, I guess you could say, because it's just like Alvin and the Chipmunks, like kids are gonna want to see Star Wars. I'm sorry, like that's a kid's
exactly. Kids are gonna want to see Star Wars. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, everyone will see Alvin and the Chipmunks too because it comes out like a week after. But like if I was a kid and they told me the brand new Star Wars movie or Alvin and the Chipmunks, I'd be like Star Wars. I don't want to see Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I'd be like Star Wars, 100%.
100%. Yeah, exactly. And I don't. I hope this last Alvin and Chipmunks is the last one. I hope it bombs.
Said that with the third one, so
yeah. The third one did not do that great, but I guess did it well enough for there to be a fourth one.
I guess they were like,
cool.
Well, no, maybe Jason Lee was just like, hey, I've got no money, so let's just make a fourth Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
Exactly. Mallrats 2 is filming, so I guess he gets a couple dollars from that, but he needed more for his brand new trailer. So
exactly,
he's doing Alvin and the Chipmunks for a whole $15.
Or
$15 just to say Alvin to the camera. Which, by the way, Jason Lee was awful in all those movies, which I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, well, Jason Lee was probably just like, I'm just here for the money, honestly.
And he has to act with a bunch of CG chipmunks, so I don't really blame him. So most likely he had to look at like a tennis ball the entire time.
And one of them is voiced by Jesse McCartney, so that tells you something.
Yeah, and who's the other one? Justin Long. You can't tell any of these people.
Yeah, Justin, and they don't even sound like each other. They just basically sound like chipmunks.
They could just get anybody. I don't know why they even like pay for. I know Justin Long's not like a commodity, but he costs something. Like you think you just get some random dude $50 and there you go.
I mean, the last movies with Chipettes, they got like what? Amy Poehler,
yeah.
Amy Poehler, Christina Applegate. So it's weird the stars they get for these movies.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why anybody would care if it's Christina Applegate. Like, does that mean like more moms are gonna come in because it's Christina Applegate? Oh, Christina Applegate voices that one Chipette that talks twice. Ooh, now I'll definitely want to see it.
Yeah,
I watched Married with Children, so I like her.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, no, that movie I'm dreading, but I'm probably not gonna see it. So, Sisters, I most likely will see after my 8th viewing of Star Wars.
After your 8th viewing of Star Wars.
The 8th viewing, because
like more like our 15th viewing of Star Wars. Like we're just gonna be like you're like maybe this is the day I'll see. No, I'll just see Star Wars again.
Maybe I'll see Sisters first, and the only reason why is because I'll be so miserable that when Star Wars comes by, I'll be that much more excited to watch it to get Sisters out of my brain.
Okay, so this will be the plan. You go to you'll be the one of the 2 people that will go to the midnight showing of Sisters, and you'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna watch this movie, get this out of the way, and then you see it. I'm like, oh, thank God. And then you walk out. I'm like, I'm paying my ticket to see Star Wars. Get me in there now.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I'm not excited for Sisters. There's a lot of bad movies coming out still.
I'm not really looking forward to it either. January for next year, we can just see Star Wars or The Revenant or The Hateful Eight.
Revenant, yeah. Revenant will probably have to wait because it comes out limited on Christmas. And, my theater's never good.
January. That's why I said in January.
Yeah.
Just see that because what's coming out in January? The 5th Wave, which looks awful.
Yeah, can't wait. Another YA movie adaptation.
Dude, I watched that trailer and literally I felt dumb watching that trailer.
Yeah. I didn't mind it, but the CG is like really terrible. Like that was the one thing I'm like, really?
I'm looking forward to in January is Kung Fu Panda 3. That's the only one.
Yeah. I'm surprised that's coming out in January because the other 2 came out in like summer. So this one,
if it came out in February, I wouldn't be as worried. Yeah. But I'm still really looking forward to Kung Fu Panda 3 because it's the 3rd installment to Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I love the first 2. The first 2 are great.
Yeah, first 2 are great.
Yeah, and this one looks really funny. I really like the trailer. Mm-hmm. The I don't know if there's a new one, but the one where he just sees his dad and they have like the little conversation and they don't realize that they might be father and son. That one's great. But that
one was funny. I like that.
Yeah, and one movie I was kind of dreading. Talking about Jack Black, one movie I was kind of dreading, but I'm hearing is actually really good now. Is the Goosebumps movie, which
I heard pretty good.
Yeah, which I was dreading only because I'm a huge fan of the Goosebumps books. When I was a kid, at least I was. I don't read them anymore, but I was only dreading it, even though I thought the trailer looked fine. I was dreading it because it's just a property that they might want to shell out just to get some cash from people that have like nostalgia or whatever.
Trailer where they used that pop song was awful. But
yeah, the pop song was.
I will say this: when they did a different trailer where they put this kind of adventurous type music, and it worked.
Okay.
It actually felt like an adventure. I was like, okay, this actually looks good. I'm actually looking forward to it because of that trailer.
Yeah.
Not that other one that was just awful, but this new one that I liked where it felt like an actual adventure, which I liked. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cool. I'm looking forward to it. It's supposed to be good, so that's cool. And that's surprising considering it's the director of Gulliver's Travels, which was awful.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black.
Yeah, another movie with Jack Black. Another book adaptation with Jack Black.
Yeah, exactly. And this is awful. So I was surprised to hear this is good. But so Goosebumps was the thing I was dreading, but now I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of movies coming out. Star Wars, Revenant. I can't wait for a lot of these.
Yeah, I can't wait for a lot of these as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I think we should about wrap it here. I think we talked about a lot of things. We talked about a lot. I really enjoyed this. This was great. I think this is a great What?
No, it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, this was a great first episode. I think I did a really good job.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like to thank you, Gore the Movie God, for coming on here and doing this and being my first guest.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
You can find me at GorTheMovieGod on YouTube. Just search up GorTheMovieGod, GOR the Movie God. I'm on Twitter also at Goracus, GORACUS. And that's pretty much it. I don't have an Instagram or anything. So Twitter and YouTube, that's about it. So yeah.
Now you could of course subscribe to the Universe of the Blue Tubers if you want to see more of these. Maybe they won't come as frequently, but they will come. And of course subscribe to my own channel, wwefan0599, and follow me on Twitter at wwefan0599. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Once again, I would like to thank you, Gore the Movie God, for being my first guest on this show.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
So yeah, I'm wwefan0599, and we'll see you all later. Peace.